Welcome. My name is Shannon Sysak with Budding Business Bookkeeping, LLC. I am more than a bookkeeper. I am your business companion, and I am here to help you, the small service business owner, uncover a bunch of hidden parts of your business. So whether you're starting off or maybe you're in the 250 to $3 million revenue bracket, there's always something new to learn and new ways to look at your business to uncover profit or savings or even find efficiency. So today we're going to actually go through my website and I'm going to introduce to you something called the Toolkit, which this is actually a fun little spot in my website. I did not do anything along the lines of making any sort of requirements of logging in or even sharing an email address, nothing like that. I do not gatekeep. I am here to help. This is something actually that has been evolving over a good long while. I personally work with a ton of different industries, primarily in the service business arena, but I also do cater to wineries and other sorts of different inventory-based business. But primarily what had happened in terms of all of my different networking efforts was I found myself attending a lot of lunch and learns and a lot of different networking events as we all do, including, BNI groups and all these other things. And there's people that are in various stages of their business journey. And in those cases, I have seen a lot of different scenarios play out in so many different ways, just in different fonts. And it's something that was a common through line that would, organically surface over and over again. So, aside from that, obviously having my clientele also coming across the same things, same stumbling blocks, the same roadblocks, or, just opportunities that may have been veiled that they hadn't thought of before, it became something abundantly clear that there was a time and time again where I would be discussing something with them, maybe something of a challenge of how they would target their audience and, me going through all sorts of different tools that are free actually to see heat maps for service areas and everything else. So there's just so many different things out there that a lot of people overlook. And so I kind of want to add to that pile a little bit and help out. And I had created this toolkit with the small business owner in mind. What we do is to get to here, we're going to go to buddingbusinessbookkeeping.com/toolkit. So if you want to, you could start off at the main page. There's me. And at this point, we're going to go to the very top. We're going to navigate to the toolkit. It's going to bring us into this window. We are going to go right here to the Google Drive. We're going to tap on that, and that's going to bring us right up to a whole bunch of different worksheets here. And so what you'll see is you can kind of see, let's just go into, let's just say, what's my business model, right? So a lot of times this is something that I always start off with business owners whenever I'm discussing with them, different barriers or what have you. Maybe something has gotten knocked loose along the way in their journey. And a lot of times I'll ask them, what's your business model? And primarily speaking, there's really three different types that I kind of explain to them if they're like, well, I never really thought about it. Of course, there's going to be the niche model, right? There's a differentiator model. And then, of course, there is the volume/cost model. So basically, when it comes down to the different models, it's going to be something that you create a baseline for. And then, of course, you're going to go ahead and start stretching into how to build your back end to match that business model. And then, of course, designing your customer offer in order to, again, complement that business model and also obviously help you arrive to your goals. And then, of course, here's a pricing guide that we discuss about, hey, again, this is all leveraged on your business model. It's really, truly, this business model sheet is what the building blocks are off of everything. Hence why this is numbered as one. A lot of times people get confused between their niche model and their differentiation model, which we'll go into shortly. But again, it's something that it's really helpful that people have told me after using it when I'm talking to these people in different networking groups and everything else that they've gone in and actually taken a closer look at their own business that they've shared with me that it's actually very helpful. So let's go ahead and tap into this PDF here. And so basically you could see here, you can go ahead, you could download, the actual item and you can actually fill it out if you wanted to. This one here is more or less just a informational one. And then of course you can go ahead and fill everything out here. So let's go to the very top. And so this is what is my business model, and this is the guide. So, I always start off at the very top to give you an idea as to what the purpose of each of these is for, because, obviously if you're reading through it and you're saying, hey, this is something that I could benefit from, then of course this is what we're going to, use to determine that. With that being said, the purpose of this guide helps you figure out how your business makes money and why that matters. When you know your core business model, you can set pricing that makes sense, spot where you're stretched too thin, communicate your value clearly, and build offerings that align with how you work best. So as we go down, you'll see that this goes through, and exactly like what we were talking about before, with the cost value model, the differentiation model, and the niche, and then gives you a whole overview as to what everything is, and then kind of goes a little bit deeper into the weeds. And then we go for each individual one. So this is the cost value model, and this is, kind of showing you ways to determine if this is the one that fits you. Same with the differentiation model. And then of course the niche model. And then, can you be more than one? Of course. So this kind of gives you an idea as to what that looks like when you have, more than one stream. From there, this invites you to go ahead and put pen to paper and try to determine which one that you actually fall under. And, again, could be multiple depending on what kind of offers that you have or which ones that you want to build. So this is something that you can use if you're already established, if you're looking to pivot, if you're brand new and you're just right now in that ideation phase and trying to figure out what you want to do for your business. So after all is said and done, obviously there's always an invitation that if you want to speak to me, I'm always available. And for me personally, I service North Carolina where I live. I come from Lehigh Valley, Pennsylvania originally, so that is my very favorite region. But North Carolina is also great too. So if you have any questions, I'm always here. Reach out. You can find me at my website. You can also, call me. You can do whatever kind of email, whatever it is that you're comfortable with. I'm always happy to help. All right, guys, that's it for now. I'll talk to you later.